Hello, welcome back. It's still crypto winter, it's still freezing out there, and I imagine, just like me, all your portfolios are in the deep red. Today I thought we'd look at Riot BLOCKCHAIN Inc., which is a crypto mining company. We've looked at crypto from just about every angle so far, and I thought this would be an interesting departure from all that to see how a lot of the founding stuff was going on. So as always, we use SWOT analysis here. This is the strength of the company, the weakness of the company, the opportunity of the market that the company is in, and the threats that market could hold towards the company to decide whether this is a worthy investment for all you amateur retail investors out there. So Riot is a really, let's say, interesting company. It was formed sometime around 2017 when it changed its name from which was a biotech company, and it has one single registered veterinarian patent. So obviously they were doing research into medicines or something for your home pets, I presume, maybe something else. Haven't actually looked down that road, so I don't know. When it changed its name to Riot BLOCKCHAIN, its shares went from $8 all the way up to $40. There was a lot of interest in it purely because it changed its name. Now, this put it in, obviously within the eyes of the SEC, which we'll discuss later on. But basically what they did is they went out there and they brought up a whole bunch of ASIC miners, specifically the Antminer S19. They purchased 4,000 of them, and sometime around 2020 they bought just over 1,000 more of them. So this is basically what they want to do. They mine Bitcoin. Now, if you don't know what mining Bitcoin is, it's essentially a series of calculations to prove that the blockchain exists out there in the internet. And then after a while, you generate a Bitcoin, and then you can just trade this as you need to. Which, if you look at the price of Bitcoin can fluctuate at the moment anywhere between $16,000 all the way up to $60,000 when it was at its height. So it is coming down from where it was. Now, if we're going to look at the strength of what the company is, I guess we could say it's the dedication towards just doing this, just producing cryptocurrency. I don't know how this is more important than that. Because basically the entire crypto market is absolutely being hammered, and apart from storing these things in hard wallets, however they do it from their own place, I imagine it's just doing that. That's all they're doing. They might be doing some other things on the side with DeFi startups and various things like that, but if everything you're doing is just producing Bitcoins, then that's all you're doing. So far, from what my research has found, they've got 329 Bitcoins, 356 Bitcoin Cash, and just over 1,400 Litecoins in the past quarter, unless I've read that wrong, which I probably have. Its electricity bills at the moment across the world are through the roof for every reason under the sun, from environmental concerns with politicians cutting the feeds for everybody and reducing carbon output, so all the coal power stations being shut down. Nuclear power stations were never built because they were very scary, following Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island disasters. And then in Europe you've got the war with the Ukraine and Russia, and you've got the whole COVID shutdown which took place everywhere, which as basically means that if you're doing anything with electricity, you're just having blackouts at the moment. And I think this is where the company is really going to start burning through its cash very, very, very quickly. If it's not producing anything else, and I can't find any research on how it's generating electricity, if they're generating electricity, or if they've been interested in generating electricity, I can't see exactly how that business model can be sustained in such a difficult environment. Maybe their leadership knows more than I do. Maybe they're just keeping it from telling everybody. I mean, like all companies, it's another one doesn't give the dividends out, which seems to be the thing for tech companies at the moment, to not participate in the markets the way they would be. So what could happen over the next 10 years. So let's say you bought your shares tomorrow. Some experts have suggested that the shares prices, if you go onto the CNN's financial pages, some of their experts are saying the price could be anywhere between $6 and $40, which basically means it's going to go up from where it is now, because it's at rock bottom. It's around $4. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's a good thing, because it's a value only share company. So for the company going forward, those buying into the share, and this is why I'm using all the footage of religious stuff, is because there's got to be faith in the whole crypto market. This company is just doing crypto. You can't take those miners, those little ASIC mining machines, the S19s, and switch them over to do things to do with research. As far as I'm aware, they're just there just to do the calculations around blockchain. It's just that. It's just there to produce cryptocurrency. That's it. And there's millions of cryptos out there, and there's no guarantee that the original ones are going to carry on going forward. So I don't know. I don't know what the opportunities are in the market for it. I don't know if there's any at all, apart from the fact that those who believe in cryptocurrencies and the entire alternative financial markets have severe faith in what's going on. They really believe in it. They really believe it's going to keep going forward. It's going to change everything. It's going to be the main revolution. I think from that point of view, you're going to need companies like this that are able to do the bulk of the fact checking within the system, and that's essentially what the mining is. Will it allow you to go to the moon with your investments? I don't know. It's a tough one. I remember people talking about cryptocurrency years ago, back when Bitcoin was around $200. This is roughly around the time I think they've got into it, when the price was starting to shoot up more and more and more, and producing it was back then. This is the other thing with Bitcoin especially, is that it gets harder and harder to produce the Bitcoins, and at some point in the future they're just going to become impossible to produce, because they'll all have been produced and they'll be out there on the market. Its biggest problem coming up is obviously the fact that legal challenges, simple as that. The Security and Exchange Commission in the States is coming down hard on every single cryptocurrency that's out there. And I know there's a lot of conspiracies out there talking about Ethereum, FTX recent collapse, and their relationships with politicians and with the American government, with a lot of cash being passed around under the table between people. I don't know how that's going to play out. I really don't. Hopefully the whole thing will become decentralized properly, and the market will loosen up again, and everything will go back to normal. But at the moment, there's a lot of Ponzi schemes out there. There's a lot of corruption, and for Riot BLOCKCHAIN, that's going to impact what they're doing, because it's not one of those companies where it's going to be involved in any of that. I mean, how could it? It's just creating it. It's just looking at everything that's there. It's not an exchange. It's not a bank. It's just producing the goods. And I think if you're going to invest in it, I think it's possible to get in there, but it really depends on how every government on earth is going to kind of react to it, and how it's going to come back and start up. It's good potential. I think this is one of those few companies. Yes, it started up unusually, obviously. Going from a veterinary biotech company is always a very strange way of doing things. And yes, its earnings at the moment are going to be down the bottom, purely because it's really hard to produce bitcoins at the moment, and it's really not the greatest economic conditions for any market, not let alone crypto. All the markets are stumbling at the moment. So if they can get through all this, if they can get through the winter, then maybe over the horizon there is a brighter future. But there needs to be some version of the company which can evolve from where they are at the moment. Otherwise it's just there just to make a bit of money on the side and then close at some point in the future. Now if you are interested in it, I'll leave a link in the description so you can go to the website and you can learn more about it. And if you're interested in investing, that's entirely up to you. It's got nothing to do with me. Alright, take care until next time.